Sorry, Leslie, that was the wrong one. Wait, there's the one I was looking for. Yeah, the baby crying.
Okay.
Yeah. There's context for that.
I'm sure there is.
Although it's kind of like I
like the screaming goat one.
It's more like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at this newspaper.
You were.
Yeah. Which I said should be sold. There was a funny letter to the editor today.
Oh, I love reading letters to the editors. Okay.
I've got some of these. This one is particularly dumb. Let me see here. It's from Gail Wright. And this is a pot calling the kettle black kind of situation, Leslie. And let me just get this thing going. We're doing a cold open this morning.
We are cold opening.
Yeah, because I just don't feel like talking about stuff.
Okay.
Other than this one issue.
Okay.
So here's the letter from Gail Wright. And Gail Wright's part of the We the People, Liberty in Action, whatever is the Republican Party now, and she's complaining about the fact that the elections were canceled in the city side of things.
Nobody's running.
Kerrville cancels the May City Council election. This is beyond sad, but the expected outcome when the local press, both print and online, malign candidates without justification. Who can expect good to run for office? Oh, is that was Wendy Jones? I can hear Wendy Jones in the background. Wendy, hold on a second.
Good morning.
Good morning.
10 o'clock, Sarah.
We're just talking smack. Hold on a second, all right? Let me just finish this, all right? We're cold opening. Stand by.
Okay.
Who can expect good citizens to run for office when they will be accused of lying and said to be unfit with no facts? To make it worse, candidates under attack are then refused retractions, rebuttals, and even paid advertising space to defend themselves. Okay, well, see, here's the problem, right, Leslie? Mm-hmm. Here's where... Oh! It's kind of both, huh? Anyway, here's the deal. There was a group of ladies, and I think one of these people might have been this writer, author. I don't remember exactly for sure. And when Tammy Prout got into a car accident.
That's exactly who I was thinking about.
Yeah. They went on Facebook and they were like, oh, she was drunk while she was driving. Right? No evidence to suggest it. And then they cooked up a conspiracy theory that said that her husband, who was a Kirk County Sheriff's captain, had covered up the evidence, which was not true at all. And so when you lie like that, you don't get a retraction or rebuttal. What you should have been is sued for slander or libel or because you were malicious in your intent on that, because you were supporting a political candidate and you were opposing the candidate who didn't align with your whatever screwed up worldview that you have on this, right? The press didn't do that. You did that. Your candidate didn't vote against. Your candidate voted against the public safety building. And in my mind, when you say, "Oh well, our police and fire, they're gonna live in a Taj Mahal," right? You don't. That's not fit. You're unfit for office. You know, when you malign our public employees in that way, you're unfit for service, as far as I'm concerned. I like to throw this at some people. That's just me. Anyway, I'm tired of the complaining and the whining. But that being said, we'll talk more about that here in a minute. Let's get this started.
All right.
Welcome to the Lead Live, everybody. I'm Louis Ambestoy. It's a Thursday morning. I started my day over at the Hill Country Youth Event Center at the Happy State.
Yes.
The Happy Bank Expo Center. Expo Hall. Mm-hmm. Leslie Jones. Mm-hmm. Your boss is there?
Yes, she is. She's presenting today.
Your boss and your former boss.
Yes.
Is there.
Charlie McIlvain gets around. That man loves this town.
He does that. He loves
He's
this
retired and still working. I think he's gained more committees to work on
Yeah.
since he's retired.
I know, it's incredible.
He came over to see me yesterday.
Did he?
I had to work on his phone.
Yeah. Does he get insane?
I am complimentary IT for him when he retired.
He just comes into you and he's like,
Whatever Charlie needs, I'll take care of
I need
it.
my phone worked on.
Sometimes you need an extra pair of hands, and I'm there to help.
We're live from the Peterson Health Digital Studio at Pint and Plow Brewing Company. The beer is being served this morning.
So is the coffee.
I had a dream last night.
Oh,
it was
no.
a weird, crazy dream.
Tell me about it.
That Jeremy had just finally had enough. He had enough, and
He might be getting there.
Yeah, right? He had enough, and he just pulled out all of the stuff.
Were you and Jeremy having the same dream?
He pulled out
I feel like he was also having this dream.
he pulled out all of the beer cooking stuff,
Oh.
right?
Oh,
And-
not your stuff.
No, not this stuff. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like, I'm like, wow, this room isn't very big. I was like, it's amazing how small this room actually is with all this beer stuff. It's so weird. And Sarah, who helps run the show, she was like, yeah, that's normal. Also, I had a dream about Karen Guerrero.
Okay.
And Karen Guerrero was doing Cuervo Pets Alive stuff, but she was wearing body armor and gear,
Nice.
and she had a tank.
Nice.
I know. So it was a
Maybe you
typical
and
day.
Karen were having the
I
same
know.
dream.
I know. Wendy, have you ever had weird dreams on a regular basis?
Yes. Yes. Very often and very vivid. I can tell every detail, every color, every facial expression. Yes.
It's you know what? Here's the thing, right? I think, and I hate to tell you this, Wendy, because you're turning 50, but it's an over 50 thing.
That your dreams get more vivid?
They get more vivid and
Is
stupid.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cite your source, please. I'm
I'm
just curious.
Just personal experience. I'm
oh,
just telling
it's just you.
That's all that matters. It's just me.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, and the other thing that's annoying when after you turn 50 is that you go to sleep, and then you suddenly wake up, and then you can't go back to sleep. Like you're out for like 5 minutes, and then something, a paw
Rattles you.
a paw, a noise, something rattles you, and then you wake up, and then you can't go back to sleep. And I don't know. So I think one of the mindfulness things that you gotta help us with here, Wendy, is we gotta figure out this. So you have so many tools over there at that facility. You have your hyperbaric, or you have your oxygen chamber. You have your knockout machine. You might have some kind of drugs to inject into people to knock them. No, I'm just kidding. But you have some things there to help people rest and get some sleep. Because sleep is recovery.
She would tell you to work out so you're so tired that you
Yes.
get a good night's rest.
That's true.
That's right. Wear yourself out and it won't be a problem.
That is such a good piece of advice, and it sounds so exhausting to get there. I can't even get to that point where I want to. So here's the hard part is that it's exhausting thinking about it. And if I do it, I would be exhausted and I would sleep better, but I can't quite get to that point where I want to get exhausted to sleep. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the deal. So, all right, Wendy, I'm sorry to rattle your cage and to do stuff
That
with
was exhausting to listen to.
you. I know. You're like, typical man.
That just wore me out.
Typical man. Let me ask you a question here. I'm kind of curious here. What is the most annoying thing that men do? Let's go with Wendy, and then we'll go to Leslie.
Do you mean like in the gym or just
In general, in existence.
Oh God! How much time do we have?
You got some time. It's just the three of us right now. I haven't seen Katie Capel or my usual suspects in here to bother me. So, do you have any recommendations?
Recommendations.
I'll give you one at the gym because we have about 50% men, 50% women membership here.
Yeah.
But it still bothers me when I don't have men restrooms and women restrooms. They're just unisex. And it just drives me nuts when men will leave the toilet lid up here at the gym, like in a public restroom. Makes me crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of gross. I'm pretty well trained in that one.
I know that's like that's like basic husband and wife stuff.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
Still
I'm
counts.
married, so I don't get it at home, but I get it at the gym.
Yeah.
Right. That's so. Well, Leslie, your turn. What do you got? Go, Leslie.
Where to start? I think I'll say as a lady of a certain age that's lived alone for a long time and prefer it. I don't miss cohabitating with a man and just them leaving their facial hair in the sink.
Yeah, that's true.
Pisses me off.
That's true.
Just really
That's true.
pisses me off.
That's true.
But I went light.
Yeah,
I went light.
That's right. All right, Wendy, your turn.
I also don't like sharing my bed.
I don't blame you.
Go get your own
Me
space.
too. Just with the dogs. That's it.
Yeah.
Just dogs.
Dogs. Do you have the cow in the bedroom yet? Is the cow laying in there yet?
No,
You could
but
probably
when
go
she
nap.
has her calf. I'm totally gonna bring the calf in my house.
But you could probably
For
go take a
sure.
nap with her and her, like, she gets some clean hay in there.
Yeah.
Go hang
Oh,
out with
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
She lets me lay down with her. And I can just prop
What a
myself up.
dream.
That is
Yeah,
Love
it's
that.
amazing.
Yeah. Animals though are like sleeping with small children though, because small children will kick you in ways you don't need to know about. They end up in spaces like, how did you get there?
Yeah, and it's all, I
How did
can't.
you-
My nieces always insist on sleeping with me when I see them.
Yeah.
And I at least, Holly, the youngest, I get beaten up. And I just
Yeah.
live with it because I'm just
Yeah.
excited they think I'm cool. But slapped, hit, kicked,
I saw
there's
a
no
kid,
sleeping on my part.
I saw a kid the other day. I was over at K-Star, and
Yeah.
there was a little guy there, like he was like 3 or 4, and he was just wiped out. And he was like standing, but laying back on the bed, and he had his hands like this,
God, I love them.
And I was like, see, that's the beauty of being a kid.
Yeah, I can sleep anywhere.
I can sleep anywhere, standing up, kind of on the bed, kind of standing up.
In their food.
In their food. It's just amazing. So, anyway, all right. Do you have a tip of the day so we don't have to
I do have a tip, kind of a fitness tip today. Because I often talk about food and nutrition and how food can be our medicine, and when you're ill, I think all people can agree that the food we put in our bodies affects our health at this point.
Yes.
But today I want to talk about how movement is also such a good form of medicine. Like, I love the phrase movement is medicine. And I think people forget this part. But if you're getting a headache or you don't feel good, there's magic in going for a walk.
Yeah.
Here's the routine. If you're not feeling good, throw some sea salt under your tongue, slam as much water as you can, and exercise. Move your body, because a quick dopamine hit will just make you feel so much better so fast. So before you reach for ibuprofen or Advil or whatever it is, and I don't mean you have to go to the gym, just movement. Get up, stand up, walk outside. Go
I think you
around the
nailed it
block.
with the magic of a walk. A magic, a walk can just...
It's magical. It can change your whole
Yeah.
day. It can change how you feel. It can take a headache away. It can change your mindset. It can take you from a really negative, ugly, depressed place to a much better place. And especially when you combine sun with a walk, so that you're getting the sunlight as well. It can be totally magical. It can completely change your day in a matter of 10 minutes.
All right. Yeah, exactly. I've been dealing
Doesn't
with.
have to be pumping iron or anything like that. It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
I've been dealing with
Just move.
fatigue, like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I've been getting out, trying to
Had
get
the
out.
afternoon slump.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Lewis, let me give you a really good story on that.
Yeah.
I taught step aerobics and group fitness for 15 years on top of training and everything else. I loved step aerobics, right? So I was always the 5:30 step instructor, and I can remember, and I was young and full of energy then, but I can remember all the working people, men and women, that would get off work at 5 o'clock and come to the 5:30 step class, and I would watch them literally drag their butt through the door. I mean, you can just look at people when they get off work and they just look drained and exhausted. But they loved step aerobics because of the music and the friends, and it's fun and the choreography. So work out in a group of people like that, good music, get their dopamine hit. And I mean, at 6:30, when that class is over, these same people could go home, do laundry, cook dinner, bathe the kids, do all the things they had to do at home. They wouldn't have done that. If they didn't work out, they would have gone home and got straight on the couch.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the easy thing.
It's just dragging your butt through the door. If
Yeah.
you can just make yourself want it so bad, want to feel better so much that you're willing to just drag your butt through the door or out to the trail or walk around the block. And I guarantee it 100% it will help with energy.
Absolutely. Great advice as always from the great and powerful Wendy Jones. Wendy, we love having you on the show. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Have a good day.
All right, see you
Bye,
later.
Wendy.
Wendy Jones joins us here. Bye. She's here Tuesdays and Thursdays. She's delightful.
I'm excited. She's getting a calf.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know. It is exciting. It's amazing, actually. Let me see. Where are we at here? Let's go back to our music. The lead brought to you by SLS Partnerships, Herring Printing Company.
Is that your Walter Cronkite voice?
Yes.
Nailing it.
Quick Lane for all your service needs. Make an appointment today at 830-257-5557. Gibson's Discount Center for everything you need in
More.
Kerrville's destination department store. Visit them today. Doug knows strong hats over at Gibson's Discount Center. Pine Plow. Beer of choice here at Pine Plow. I had somebody the other day tell me they didn't like Pine Plow's beer.
Well, then don't drink it.
I'm like, well, they like
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they like some kind of soft drink beer or something like that. I don't know what that was about.
The beauty of it is there's a million other places to get beer. So
Well, it's just for
no one's forcing you.
It's a nice, gentle beer. So the real estate report brought.
Whether they want the beer to like punch them in the face.
I don't know. Well, he was drinking some kind of like, I don't know, Dos Equis or something.
Oh, okay.
The real estate report brought to you by JP Properties. Saw Janelle yesterday over at the Rotary Club meeting. Mattress World. If you need a mattress, we recommend going to Mattress World. They are awesome at everything they do.
Apparently sell a hell of a pillow.
They sell a hell of a pillow. They have the iComfort by Serta. They have a whole collection of beds for you to try out. I like to go there and just be rambunctious and jump on the beds.
Of course you do.
And they let you do it. The returns are awesome. But the pillow, though, I have to sleep with multiple pillows, but I have to have my pillow from Mattress World.
Yeah.
Jody Tillman, also from Kirk County, or some New Fed Mortgage. She can help you out with a loan. So can South Star Bank. I saw Kyla Gessel this morning. She was delightful, as always. Let me see here. News and notes for a lovely... what is today? Thursday?
Today's Thursday. All day.
Yeah. I am going to Austin today.
Ooh. Are you flying out of Austin?
I'm flying out of Austin.
Okay.
Here's the deal, Leslie. I kind of waited for a minute to get
a plane ticket. Okay.
And it's almost a $400 difference
Yikes.
between San Antonio and Austin to fly to San Diego.
I can fly a lot cheaper out of Austin.
And, it's an extra hour of driving and a hassle, but
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. So,
and I think like for $400 savings, I'll drive an extra hour.
And I like the Austin airport better.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't. But I do like, so my brother being in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I did talk to him the other day, and he's got he's about to retire.
Yeah.
And he's got a job lined up. So he'll probably be staying in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
But Hawaiian Airlines has a gate now in Austin at the airport. Can he
stay in his housing even though if he's retired?
He's going to be apparently. I don't think he can stay in housing, but he'll be working for if this works out, he'll be working for the DoD.
Oh, okay. They don't lay everybody off.
Well, he did talk to them about that.
Yeah.
And apparently, whatever this would be, it's like maintenance in the shipyards. It's something like they have to. Well,
they have to have.
They have to have. We'll see how that goes. But like he did talk to them about that, so he has some things lined up. He's really excited about it. This one in particular. So I'm putting it on the universe for him.
Well, he's white, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
if he was Hispanic, he'd probably.
He also has like a lot of skills that they were excited that he had.
Yeah.
And because Will's the better of the two of us, he can build things. I'm just a bullshitter.
Yeah, I love it. That's okay.
But Will has actual talent, and he can build and make and fix and all that good stuff.
So you have to you fly out of Austin.
I do, because Hawaiian Airlines has a direct flight there, and I can get a flight for like a round trip for like $350 regularly.
All right, that's a pretty good deal.
I know. So I get flying out of Austin.
Yeah.
Now, if it was like only a $50 difference, I'd fly out of San Antonio.
I've never been to Hawaii.
You need to go.
I know.
You want to plan a trip?
Yeah,
We can go visit my brother.
You're going on a trip though, aren't you?
I'm going to Denver next week.
Yeah, Denver's delightful.
I'm excited. I've actually only been in the Denver airport, so I'll actually get to kind of
The Denver
experience
airport's
Denver.
stupid. It's really large.
Yeah, I've
and
only
it's not
sat
close
in
to
it, and
the
I'm going to
city.
look at the horse that's
Oh,
there.
the horse is definitely. Well, I always thought the horse was represented John Elway, but that
Is
was
that okay? I just know that's everybody calls it
Yeah.
like a demonic horse.
They double down on the fact that
Good
it's
for them.
some kind of weird Illuminati
Yeah, sure,
palace.
whatever.
They have terrible security. I don't know if they fixed it, but last time I flew out of Denver,
You know what? When you fly in different airports, everybody's security is different.
yeah, theirs is like one gigantic. It's I don't know. It's like the remember like when you go to sometimes department stores, they don't have it organized like the
Yeah.
security. Just get whatever line you want.
I will tell you, that's what the airport in Guam is like.
Yeah.
And there's no AC.
I'm sad today, by the way.
Why are you sad?
Because Gene Hackman died.
That is sad. He was what, 95?
95. Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa died today. They found them dead in their house with the dog, and they think that maybe it was some kind of carbon monoxide poisoning, possibly because the dog was dead
Yeah.
too. They don't expect any kind of foul play.
And then Michelle Trachtenberg died
she died of like a
yesterday.
liver.
Yeah, she'd
transplant.
had a liver transplant, and they think there was complications. But it's still very sad. She was 39.
Yeah, rejected.
And like I remember vividly as a kid watching Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
That was a hard one because like I'm 2 years older than her.
Wasn't she in that ice skating movie?
Yeah,
with,
Ice Princess.
Yeah. Okay, that's who that is. Right. I watched that movie like 100 times with Allison.
Of
So
course. Tracks.
yeah.
She was in Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Only
It's very-
39.
I know,
People have made fun of her appearance, but she was suffering from this disease.
Yeah, and she had I think there was I think she had liver issues due to alcohol substance abuse, which is she was a child star. I'm not
Every one of them has some kind of abuse.
I was reading something where because she did a project with Brittany Murphy, and they've been showing like highlights of that because it's just really sad.
Yeah. Because she died young too.
Yeah, she did, and so.
Gene Hackman, of course, was famous for being Popeye Doyle in The French Connection. And, of course, my favorite Gene Hackman movie, he has many phases of his career.
She really does. Like I remember there was a time you could not see a movie that didn't have Gene Hackman in
It
it.
was like if you want dependable movies, Gene Hackman and Michael Caine were your two guys.
No kidding.
But Mississippi Burning, he plays an FBI agent, and he grabs the testicles of a white supremacist who tries to intimidate him. And it's one of those things where Gene Hackman's not a little man. And
No.
he has pretty good sized hands.
I always forget how tall he is.
And you always think to yourself, what man could survive having their testicles grab like that? And like men who have those hands that are like vices, you know? Oh my God. That would be awful. And it's such like everyone's like sitting around the room like, oh my God. Because he probably really did it. He probably really grabbed that guy. It's the guy who was like Daryl from, not Daryl. It was one of the guys.
They have an intimacy coordinator on the set.
Maybe, yeah. Look, Gene's gonna grab your nuts, and that's good.
I'm sure they had like things in place.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. He was also the coach in Hoosiers. Mm-hmm. You know, what's interesting about Hoosiers, the movie, the real story of the Hoosiers, was that Oscar Robertson was the kid. There's certain movies where you don't realize, like there's two movies out there that stand in my mind that are huge upset movies. And in Hoosiers, he plays the coach, Roy Dale, and he gets the guy, Jimmy Chipwood, who makes the big shots and can't miss in the championship game. But they're playing against one of the greatest NBA players of all time in that championship game. And the movie kind of skirts around it. They're playing against Oscar Robertson, who was an Olympian and had a long career in the NBA. And I'm like, that's kind of a weird one. And the other one too is Chariots of Fire. when they beat the American in the 100 meters, that one is a huge upset. A huge upset. And they have the guy that plays the American guy, Charlie Paddock is the name of the character, or the name of the actual American sprinter. They have the guy from Breaking Away, Dennis something, and he's little and scrawny. And Charlie Paddock would have been like Hulk beyond Hulk coming up to the finish. He would have been like Usain Bolt.
Yeah. And
the British guy beat him in the 100 meters in the Olympics. And I was like, no, this doesn't really tell the true story. It was a much bigger win than that. But Gene Hackman was in so many good movies. The Royal Tenenbaums.
I know. I'm looking at all of them right now.
The Royal Tenenbaums.
I know.
Movies about him, and he steals the movie anyway. So good.
Honestly, most underrated Replacements.
Oh yeah,
This is such a good movie.
Yeah,
it's just a nice, solid, wrapped up movie.
Yeah, Keanu.
I know.
Yeah,
underdog football team.
Underdog football team.
Love it.
Yeah. He was in another movie called No Way Out.
He was in Ants. I forgot.
Was he really in Ants?
Yeah, he was Ant. He was in Ants.
He was everything.
I know.
Everything.
God.
There you go.
He was in The Birdcage. Another great movie.
Yeah, he played the father of the woman who's going to marry Robin Williams' son.
Yep. And Get Shorty. I haven't seen Get Shorty in a long time.
Yeah,
Get Shorty was a good movie.
So many movies. So many great movies.
I remember my dad watched Crimson Tide a lot. I remember vividly
Crimson Tide is tremendous. He and Denzel Washington.
And then he was in that. There wasn't a Western he wasn't in either. So like Quick and the Dead, Wyatt Earp, Unforgiven, Geronimo.
Yeah.
There's probably more.
By the way, the movie Geronimo, an American Legend, which also stars Matt Damon and what's his name from dang it. It stars Matt Damon plays a character that kind of develops in there, but the actual star of the movie is Jason Patric.
Yeah.
Jason Patric pulls off one of the great stunt scenes of a horse. Like, it's real. He pulls it off where they do this combat maneuver, and he must have had, I would love, see, there's things like I would love to interview people about, like, how did you do that? How long did it take you to do that? Where he pulls the horse down and uses the horse for cover. And there's no stunt double. It's him doing it.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So
I don't even know if they'd let you do that anymore.
I believe that Gene Hackman plays General Crook, not to be confused with Meredith Crook, but General Crook. And Hackman's Crook. I mean, if you look at the two of them, like he was pretty well cast.
Yeah.
So measles. The measles have killed a child in West Texas. Now, here's what you need to know about this measles situation, Leslie. It's mostly in Gaines County. Hey, what do you guys got going on? Come over here for a second, too.
They're off to be ragamuffins. You have to bring all of them.
Don't leave. Come back for a second.
And Stu Baby. Everybody has to come.
Come on for a second.
Get your crew.
Come on.
All of you.
Come on.
You got to include all of them now.
Just for a second.
Come on.
Come on. Did you have the measles?
We're only getting two. Come.
Tell Dan to get in here. All right. So in Gaines County, which is in West Texas, right? That's like up there by it's kind of south of Lubbock, southwest of Lubbock. Now let me ask you a question. Where did Stu Baby go?
He's coming. They're
come
all
back.
coming.
I got questions for you guys. I got questions for you. Come on, Dan. Come on. Just come on for a second. Okay. Childhood disease. Let's ask you guys some questions. Clifton Pfeiffer, Stu Baby's here, and Dan is here. Which childhood disease did you have that was miserable? Did you have the mumps or measles or chickenpox? Clifton Pfeiffer, go.
For me, it was the mumps.
Oh, let me turn your microphone on. You had the mumps.
And I remember how I got them. It was the day, I was at the Green Door on a Monday playing in the back.
Yeah.
And I had eaten some blood sausage.
Okay.
And I woke up the next day, my jaws looked like Peter Rabbit. Man, and they hurt.
Oh, my God.
They hurt, yeah.
So I never ate blood sausage since then.
Who had blood sausage?
My aunt at the Green Door.
Oh, my God. That sounds terrible.
No, that was good stuff.
I bet it was.
Before I got the mumps.
You
Yeah.
had the mumps, and you had the mumps.
Nothing to do with the mumps.
Yeah, but I never ate
But
it
as a
again.
kid, he couldn't
Yeah.
get past that. Yeah.
Yeah. Stu Baby, what about you?
I would have to say it was the measles. I remember probably after the 5th grade, first day of summer vacation, went swimming all day, and all of a sudden started feeling terrible.
Yeah.
And then I had the measles, and the next 2 weeks of
You were
summer
out.
vacation. I was
Oh my
out.
goodness.
Yeah. The measles, we're talking about the measles outbreak. Dan, what about you? What childhood disease did you have to deal with?
Contaminated water.
Well, I mean, all three of them, and I really don't remember any of them.
Yeah,
other
right.
than, hey, I was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I vividly remember the chicken pox.
I vividly remember the chicken pox too.
Yeah. In fact, this face, by the way, that's a chicken pox. There's some chicken pox.
Yeah, pock marks.
Yeah, pock marks on that as well. But then, did you guys get? So you already had the measles, but so I don't. Is there like chicken pox? Is if you have the chicken pox, that gives you the shingles virus.
Watch out, world.
Which I got.
Can't wait.
I got the shot for it. Did you guys get the shingles? You got the. You got
Dan
the,
did.
You got the shingles shot.
I haven't
Yeah.
got it yet, but that's my next one.
Yes.
Did you get? You haven't had shingles, have you?
Yeah, I got them back in 2015.
Another miserable.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I still have marks on my left arm. Look like somebody took a cigarette or a cigar
Oh
and
my
burnt me.
god.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. I don't want any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stu Baby, what about you?
Yeah.
I just remember all the vaccines we had to get before we would start public school.
Right.
You know, we did the polio vaccine, and how happy I was to be able to take a sugar cube instead of a needle. And,
Yeah.
and then all my older siblings having to take, you know, the smallpox.
Yeah.
And then me being responsible for knocking off the blister thing, and they said, "We're going to get you." When
Yeah. I
I'd
mean,
be scared to death.
how many?
Mine never took, and I don't know if
I remember mom's got a very visible smallpox
Yeah.
scar on her arm.
I remember a lot of the adults as a kid having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a normal, and then being like, "Why don't I have one?"
There
And
was a lot
it's-
of kids
yeah.
there when I was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like like people are like I'm sure that was traumatic. I remember being like being drugged from underneath of a chair my mother was like dragging me around, trying to get those shots. But I told a story that when I with my grandsons we were on the Marine base. The kids are like some of the boys are like walking around like, look at
Got
my
my
bag.
shots
I got
today.
some shots today. I'm a tough. So, what's going on with you guys? What was on your agenda today for discussion for the old farts table?
We're just talking in general.
Yeah,
Just being old.
Buffalo Bills conversation.
No, we didn't talk about Buffalo Bills today.
No Buffalo Bills
No.
Daniel didn't bring it up.
Ailments.
ailments.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you normally? Okay, here's the deal. I saw an old guy today walking down Main Street today. He had compression socks on, knee-high compression socks. I've thought two things about it. One, I would not, in my current state, I would never be caught dead wearing black knee-high compression socks in public. Two, maybe at that age, I don't give a crap, and I should just start wearing them all the time. Would you wear black compression socks in public?
With pants.
No, with shorts. You got to wear them with shorts.
I think Dan has a hard line. He
Dan
says
has a
yes,
hard line.
but he would have pants on.
Now,
Okay.
I don't know if you just had a blood clot operation
yeah.
and you need to get exercise, I can see them.
I can
doing
see that. I can see that, right.
Because I still like my tube socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Now, let me ask you. So, would you wear them, Stu Baby?
well, interesting. A couple months ago, I was diagnosed with blood clots in my
Yeah.
lungs.
Yeah.
And first thing that came out of my mouth, he said, it came from your legs. I said, am I going to have to wear compression socks?
They're like, yes, you are.
No, that's just a tail that's
A tail.
not true. And I'm like,
But they do when you go to the hospital though, they do put all that crap on you though to make sure your legs are like move, you get some circulation going through there. Now when you guys played sports, was it the era of knee-high tube socks or was it just lower socks?
Knee-high tube.
Knee-high tube, yeah. Are you
leggings.
leggings?
They're with the stirrup.
The stirrup.
Well, that was baseball.
That was baseball.
No, that
Yeah.
was basketball.
Oh, basketball had the stirrups too, didn't they?
And football.
And football had stirrups. I wonder how that came about. Who? I remember the stirrups in baseball. So my dad believed that baseball pants should be worn high though. And you see these guys now that wear them like saggy, like Kendrick Lamar that he looks like a baseball player.
Yeah.
Out there with those pants on.
Well, you want to, for the strike zone, you want to keep it above the knee.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So it gives them something to really look at. Now they have computer modeling now for that as well. All right. So you guys meet every Thursday. What is the most common topic? Ailments or not?
No,
We
Tybee
try to
High
avoid
School.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah, Tybee High School.
but obviously it does.
But Dan
arise.
didn't go to Tybee High School. Dan's like from where are you from exactly?
Cheektowaga, New York.
Oh, right. That's right. And you came out here. How'd you get to Texas again? For the jobs or for
Yeah.
the
They
jobs?
were closing schools in Buffalo as fast as they were opening.
Is that right?
Houston.
Wow. So you came to Houston and then you started teaching. Then you got sick of Houston, came here.
No, I got married and my wife wanted to live in Kerrville.
Oh, really?
That's why we came.
Oh, well,
She's from San Antonio.
your wife's pretty smart though.
Yes.
She can take care of stuff. So she's like, I'm not coming. I'm not staying in Houston. We're gonna be here. And you guys all taught together, right? That's how that worked, or how did that work exactly?
Yeah, Daniel and I taught together.
Yeah.
And Stu Baby was in high school.
With high school, yeah. But he was. You're still at the high school, right? They still make you sub, don't
Yeah,
they?
he hadn't graduated yet.
He the doorman.
He's a doorman.
Jack of all trades.
Forever
Jack of all
you're a
trades.
senior.
Forever you're a senior.
There's a lot of jobs I've
5
crossed
years.
off with.
Yeah. So we have a measles outbreak in West Texas, and we were just talking about that right now. So I wanted to get your guys' take on what it was like because they had, by the time I was born and going through the thing, they had the measles vaccine, so I didn't have to experience that nonsense. You and I had experienced the chickenpox, but my kid had a vaccine for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is great, because it is a miserable, time. So,
Yeah, me and my brother both got chickenpox.
oh, yeah.
God bless my mother.
Yes.
I can just remember my kids were young. If we find out one of their friends had the chicken pox, we would have a chicken pox party.
Yes.
We'd all go hang out at the house.
That was
and
still a
get it
thing.
over with.
That was still a thing in the 80s.
That was it.
Yeah. But with the measles, though, you don't want to have that party because measles are dangerous. And that's the reason why it was I think, an urgent deal. Mumps is urgent, too. But that's not a good one either.
I don't want
Especially for boys.
No.
Yeah, so.
All I know is, as kids, in my school, we had 2,600 kids in the high school, so it was a big school
Yeah,
district.
right.
And everybody got measles.
Yeah, right.
And I don't remember anybody dying from measles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like COVID, in some ways where, your immune system like goes crazy and it attacks you. And it's not necessarily the measles that gets you; it's what happens afterwards. So it's entirely possible that it can do it. So
that's what happened to us. Measles. That's the way.
Yeah. Well, you guys are like kind of like kid-like boomers in some ways. So you guys were probably just exposed to other horrible things like lead paint and lead pipes
Mosquito
and
man.
mosquitoes, right?
Drinking out of
Water out of
faucet.
a
Yeah.
garden hose.
Man, that was where the best water was at in my house. It was outside on the hose. So
The best shower we took was running after the mosquito man.
yeah,
We just got full of stuff. You didn't have to worry about any type of critters or insects.
oh my God.
Then you wash it off.
The fresh air of Buffalo factory.
Yeah, right. I can see Clifton. Oh, here goes the Mount Fine truck.
Well, my favorite thing to do, because when we lived where we live now, we didn't get pavement until
Yeah.
the late 60s. So,
Yeah.
and I still like doing this whenever I go to a beach. We had potholes in the ground, and they would be about like a foot deep.
Yeah.
And you go in there, and that's where all that rich, silky soil is. So
Yeah.
after a rain, I would go in, take my shoes off, and put my feet in those potholes, and you feel the mud ooze between your toes.
Yeah, a spa day.
And that was the best feeling. So when I go to the beach, first thing I do is go to the edge of the beach and put my feet in there.
That is a good feeling, actually.
Yeah, just like I'm a
Exfoliating.
seagull. Just
It's
I do that at the
Happy
river with the
again.
minnows.
It's a-
When everybody
Feels
goes
so
and get
good.
the fish pedicures things, and I'm like, you can literally go to the river for free. They'll do it for
They'll
you.
do it for you.
felt so good.
Yeah.
Gulf of Mexico.
What?
That's it,
What?
baby. That's where I
What?
am.
What did you just say?
At the Gulf of Mexico.
We don't call it that here in America. It's Gulf of America.
Here at Pine Plow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm with Stu, baby.
All right. Look, we don't have time for dumb stuff at this point, all right? All right. You guys can get out of here now. Goodbye.
Bye,
Thank you guys for being
boys.
here.
Thank you for
You're
coming to
welcome.
see
Good
us.
seeing you as well. Going back to the measles conversation here.
Thank y'all.
See you later, Flip Day.
I got us out of there.
Yeah, good job.
I've been kicked out of nativity scenes, and now
You got kicked out of a nativity scene?
That's a story I would love to hear.
Oh, careful there. Watch
All right.
out. Yeah.
For Christmas, Stu Baby comes back and tells us about how he got kicked out of a nativity
Yeah.
scene. We'll get it. We'll get it.
It'll get
we'll
it.
take care of it.
It'll be fine. Stop breaking stuff. Hey, Maya. Come on.
She said, no.
No.
All right, measles.
Measles. So it's in West Texas in Gaines County where like half of the school children aren't vaccinated. Here in Kerr County, 96% outside of the Hunt School District, which has about 16 to 17% of the kids have vaccine exemptions. This is an exemption that you have to get conscientious exemptions. Which is only about 35 kids. But there are 250 kids in Kerr County that have vaccination exemptions. But for the most part, our schools are in pretty good shape. I did the numbers on this the other day. Ingram has less than 4% that are not vaccinated. Kerrville has less than 4%. Actually, Centerpoint has the best numbers. They have less than 3% not vaccinated. But what is interesting about the measles, and like this is a good point. I don't remember measles killing anybody, but it can happen. And of this, more than 100 people, mostly children, who have gotten this outbreak, about 20 of them have been hospitalized because it is serious enough to do some things with pneumonia.
It's really hard on little bodies.
Yeah, it's a little hard. Yeah, exactly. Like COVID was hard on old people.
Yeah.
Wasn't so hard on the, but there are illnesses that, that there's something for everybody. But this also is in a Mennonite community where this is happening. Now the problem though is that somebody got out of the area, out of the hot zone, and they came to San Antonio, and they walked around the Riverwalk and they exposed people. And measles is particularly nasty because it can stay in the air for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So it's possible that people will come down with this. There's no necessarily need to panic or worry, but this is something that if you get the measles in your household, you do need to let your doctor know, because it is something that you need to not go, because even the vaccines, I know people, there's two things like, oh, we don't need no vaccine. You do. Two, you don't need no vaccine, and the second part of this is that there's people though that can get it if they had the vaccine. Like I had COVID, I had the vaccine. Now was it as bad as not? I don't think so. But I had the flu. I didn't get the flu shot last year. I had the flu last year. Let me tell you, it kicked my ass. You've had the flu twice.
I had the flu, and I had the flu this year. I didn't get, and it was significantly worse, and I didn't get a flu shot. Yeah. And that just because of poor planning, and I realized it when I had the flu not that long ago, and it was awful. Yeah. I did not enjoy it. Don't recommend. Yeah. If I don't have to get it, and like I think the flu shot is it can help. Sometimes like you might get it, but it won't be as bad. Yeah. And I don't get sick often, so when I get sick, like it was like took me out. Right. Let me see here. Texas Lottery is under investigation. People are gaming these. This is the one area where I have. There's a couple of things. It's just so weird. Like I just don't usually agree with people a lot of times, but I kind of agree with Dan Patrick on this one. The governor of the lieutenant governor. Oh, I think he thinks he's the governor, but lieutenant governor of Texas. I guess he went someplace and he saw like these sort of operations to game the lottery. Yeah. Which does not surprise me in the least. Right, doesn't surprise me at all. I thought Maya would come on the show. Maya's not. You thought? Let me see. Maya. Let's see if she'll come. You'll be like, Maya, all the lights are on, but we're not live.
Maya, we'll turn the lights out for Maya. She can like stand over
Just
there.
have her stand behind the curtain.
We can stand behind the microphone and she can just give us her voice. But yeah, this is they passed some emergency legislation to ban these courier groups which buy these. So like they buy these large numbers of tickets and they win like $100 million.
Yeah. They're stacking their odds.
They're stacking their odds, and they buy 10 million tickets, and then they have improves their odds. So there's always a way to game these things. So that's another story that's out there as well. Let me see here, Leslie. What else do we have? The city council has canceled its May elections. I had that the other day. You know what's interesting is this flag football story.
Yeah, that's Shriner.
It's Shriner. Ed Shriner. We sound like the Google AI, by the way.
Thank you.
Hey,
You like that?
I like that. Yes. This Shriner story is the most viewed story that I've ever had about Shriner in 4.5 years of doing the lead.
Wow.
Yes.
That is interesting.
It is. It's reached almost 60,000 people now.
All right.
So there's that. This is amazing to me. So what's going to happen here, Leslie, is that they're going to add flag football. They're going to play an exhibition game on April sometime first week of April. I want to say April 1st, April Fool's Day, but I don't know if that's right or not. And the NCAA is saying we're going to make this a sport. And so,
Do you feel like they're doing that as a response to rugby catching on, and they just want to do rugby?
yes, rugby is catching on. I think though that there is a sense that flag football is popular in certain parts of
That's valid.
the world right now in the U.S.
There's room for it both.
Yeah, and that the rugby situation is just as violent as football.
I know.
Yeah,
That's why I love it.
and yeah, I know.
I love a full contact sport.
Yeah, rugby was so good though. It
Yeah.
was so good.
But I'm the cool about flag football too. There's room for all of that. Not everybody. I mean, the flag football can still become a contact sport.
Oh, there's some contact.
I played
involved.
powder puff in high school.
Yeah. Goodbye. Thanks for putting up with us. Poor thing. I don't know who that even was.
I was like, "Who did you?" I didn't know that woman. She ran out of here.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God. There's this really loud person named, what's this guy's deal? But I think this is a really positive development. It is a direct answer to adding football.
Yeah.
Because now that helps them equalize their Title IX offerings. The NCAA is going to make it a competitive sport in 2027. So that's exciting. But I haven't had anything that's come even close to this level of sort of interest and excitement.
That is interesting. Yeah. Not that it's not interesting, just that out of all your Shriner stories, that's the one. Yeah. I just would have thought there was something else comparable. I know, but that's awesome.
Yeah. The Commissioners Court discussed the feral cat problems.
Yes, they did.
You have any thoughts on that?
I think this always comes up. I think every now and then you get people that will come and complain about. I don't know exactly what all the comments were that the people brought up, so I don't want to come from a place that it was coming from hate necessarily. But it's really easy. It's really easy to shit on feral cats, and I get it. But that's not when you have a feral animal problem. It's a human problem.
Yeah, it's a human problem.
And
called dumping.
Yes, and it's also not spaying and neutering. Yeah. Or I think it is also the value in supporting TNR, trap, neuter, return programs that the Big Fix practices. And so I know I'm going to a meeting tonight after work with an animal legislative arm, and there's some group of us getting in action to kind of talk. I know we're preparing to probably get in front of county commissioners with the Big Fix and then continue the conversation that the best course of action when you're taking care of a problem like this is the most humane way, and that is trap, neuter, return, and it's mitigating harm. It is bearing down them reproducing, them dying out naturally, and it also helps stop the spread of disease because it's really easy for those unvaccinated cats to have babies that also spread sickness. Yeah. And so there are groups working on that, and that's the Big Fix is a big part, and we are part of an active group. It's an interagency thing. It takes the Big Fix, it takes Kerrville Pets Alive, it takes Freeman Fritz, the Humane Society. It takes all of us working with the animal shelter, and it's us continuing to develop those conversations. And I know on our end, on the Big Fix, we're all working, and so a lot of these people are working and trapping, so it's hard to always be in these conversations, but it's always trying to make sure we're involved in the conversation.
Right.
Because I get it. Feral cats are not cute and they're not cuddly.
They're not cuddly.
But that doesn't make them, that doesn't mean someone doesn't need to advocate for them.
Did you see this one we had yesterday? This feral cat we had yesterday? Oh, I guess I don't have the picture of it. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's
And
not happy.
I think what happened was, so also when you trap a cat, sometimes without a plan,
they don't like it.
They freak out, and it depends on how. And I'm not accusing that of this cat or whoever they could have gotten in a timely manner, but some cats freak out, and then sometimes people trap without a plan, and they leave them in the traps for too long. They can harm themselves immensely because they're just trying to get away. Or they can, if the weather is extreme and you're just not prepared, that animal can pass away.
Yeah.
And it's not humane. It's really what it is.
No.
It's not humane. And there's those of us that are trying actively to fight that. And Dinosaur Jesus would support it. So
yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of a cool the deal there. I like that.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know. Let me see what else we got here.
Yeah, what else can you queue up? Oh.
I don't even know what that even is. So, all right. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Thanks for talking about feral cats.
Yeah, they talked about it. In the
Yeah, I know. I heard heard it came up, and it's always going to pop up. We're coming into spring.
They don't know what to do about it either because they don't know what to do about anything.
Okay, I think when you don't have, and I understand a lot of communities, it's hard to get behind a TNR program because they also feel like it supports dumping of animals.
Yeah.
And and I get it. And there's a lot of moving parts to the conversation, but I think it's just having the conversation as a place to start. But I think supporting TNR programs, and then also supporting spay and neuter in general, because a lot of people, like with cats, yes, you should keep them indoors. That's ideal. But I don't know if you ever met a cat. Not all cats like that.
No.
And sometimes people they like going outside. Well, sometimes those cats decide to rehome themselves, or sometimes people just don't keep good eyes on their cats. This happens. And I'm not saying that's okay either, but it happens.
It happens.
But if that animal's already spay or neutered, they're not going to have more babies.
No.
And you're already one step ahead.
Right.
And so that's why you should always support spay and neuter programs. There's a low cost one, I think, this weekend that KPA is putting on. So if you've got a critter, get signed up on it and then get on their wait list because they're going to have some more. If you know the Big Fix, we have a list of, I think it's at least 1,000 cats that we're slowly working through.
Wow.
And it's a little bit at a time. And so
1,000 cats.
we have, that we're taking care of. Those are ferals.
That you're aware of.
Yes, that we have a list of, and colonies that we're
That's
aware
amazing.
of, and we're working our way through that list. You can contact us by email and let us know. We probably already know about it, but just to be aware of it. And then if you want to be a part of it, we can help. We can probably help you get a low-cost voucher to get your own ferals fixed if you have a colony that you're feeding, because that makes, if you're feeding them, you should also be practicing TNR with them.
Yeah, right.
And that keeps that colony from growing because it's very easy for it to get out of hand. So it's like the best of intention by taking care of them, but also you need to make sure they're not making more babies.
Right.
Because it's not only hard on the area you live in, you're going to see it's really easy for that to get out of hand really fast. A lot of disease. I think all of us that have fostered have had to take in kittens that were very, very sick. And that's hard too. It's hard when you're trying to take care of an animal and then you can't save it, but you try anyway. And that's what a lot of us are doing. And I've seen many of a kitten die, and I will do whatever I can to help an animal have a better life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can help also by spay and neutering your cats or your dogs or your animals in general. So
get it done.
Yeah. And
Get
you should
done.
support TNR programs,
Yes, absolutely.
even if it's on a level of a grassroots like Big Fix.
Reagan Gibbons said he's going to fix it, or he's going to.
Reagan is a great partner. He's great with working all of the agencies, and it's a thankless job what they do at Animal Services because there's only so much they can do.
Right.
And they're doing their best, and we try really hard. All of us in these animal advocacy work really hard to work with them. because there's also, again, only so much they can do where their hands are tied.
This is why
based
you
off
were
their
in charge of
leadership.
that committee.
I was not in charge. There was a group of us that worked on it.
But you were in charge. You were the one that violated the Public Records Act.
I did violate the public. I did get a walking quorum under my belt in like a week. But no, I got promoted as chair because Karen Guerrero threw my name out there first and everybody voted on it.
Yeah, they're like, give it to Leslie.
But I was there to kind of talk on behalf of ferals and getting them, because we know there's probably not going to be a TNR program implemented through local government anytime soon, and I understand why. But there are those of us already working on it, and then making sure that they get listed as part of that ordinance because they are doing their part.
I love it. I love it.
And it differentiates somebody that's feeding a colony and caring for a colony and doing TNR from somebody hoarding, because those are two completely different things.
Yeah. Hoarding is so terrible.
It is.
It really is.
Well, and it also is it's a larger issue that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm just playing with all these things.
I know. You're having a good time.
Great time. I don't know what happened to. Did you say you seen Fireman Nick was here?
I know. I saw him earlier.
Yeah. They won the trivia thing again.
I know.
So I don't know what to think of that. By the way, speaking of unthankful, tough jobs, being a portrait artist is one of the toughest jobs out there. But if you want somebody to help you, give Mia a call.
Mia does a hell of a job.
830-285-2045. She can take care of you today, and she can make you look like a swan in the water. So she's our official portrait artist of the lead.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you have your portrait done as?
In armor. In
love
armor. In armor with a fez.
Okay.
Like one of those big, I don't know, some kind of hat kind of
I love
combination.
It.
So
I love it.
Tomorrow, I will be gone.
Yes. So you fly out today.
Yes, you will be here with Jeremy. Monday, I think Andrew's going to host the show, but I don't know. Maybe we won't do the show on Monday. Maybe we'll just call it a day.
Okay.
People don't need the show every day, do they?
Well, sometimes I think it's okay for you to have a life, you know.
Well, I got to go see my grandma.
You don't regularly do that, regularly just take off. You're pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to take a day.
I've never missed the newsletter. I missed the show a couple times. We missed the show twice last year because I was sick. And I was so sick I didn't have time. I didn't have the energy to tell Jeremy how to run the show. I was like, I don't want to think about it. I can't do it. I don't want to call Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't want to do my usual suspects. So I did speak to the Rotary Club yesterday. That was delightful.
I heard you got compliments.
A couple people mad at me. I did the video.
Nice.
Of the hype video that we have.
Yeah.
And then I also did a little PowerPoint talking about how we're funded and that they can subscribe. And I also showed the media landscape in Texas, which is appalling at this point.
I think those are important conversations to be had.
So, and I talked about how journalism still matters, no matter what the format is. So that was good to have, and I haven't done that for a while. So it was good. It was fun. The other part of this too, people are like, I didn't know that you were a public speaker. And I'm like, well, I only do the show like every day. I only do this like every single day.
I think people put too much hype on public speaking.
Yeah.
Because I want to be like, anybody can really public speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying there's people better at it.
Yeah. I'm going to head back over to the Hill Country Youth Event Center for the Economics Summit. Now, I saw Julie Davis there earlier.
Julie is there.
And she was telling some insane story about your guys. She left her gift in the hotel.
Oh, she was telling the Citizen M story?
Yeah.
She got, how much did you hear? Tell it.
Too much.
Okay.
The whole thing. About, that it was like.
I personally, I won't be staying at a Citizen M again.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Like they stole the thing. And
essentially, a gift was given from our ad agency had given Tara, the judge's wife,
a
gift because of some work that she did because we're in the middle of building a new website with them.
Yeah.
And so Tara had worked through this worksheet for them and got it all done. And Anne Marie at our agency had gotten her a really sweet gift. And Julie had taken it to her room, and when we were checking out, we went to breakfast just up the street, and she realized she didn't put it in the car. And so she goes, I'll call him. And so when she called, it was already weird. Like the woman that she talked to was already kind of put out about it, and was like, well, I'll send somebody to go and look, and was like, well, there's just a gift bag. Do you want the gift bag? And Julie was like, no, there was a gift in the gift bag. I need the whole bag. And she goes, I'll just come back and look myself. Well, Citizen M like doesn't have a parking garage. Like you have to pay for parking nearby because they get a lot of people just flying in and out.
Yeah.
It's like staying in a really high-end hostel. Like, cause it's a European brand.
Yeah.
And it's very,
Is this the one on South Congress?
it's not far from South Congress.
All right.
So it's very hip and trendy. Like you check yourself in. It's when you're trained with hotels, it was like a really different experience.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think they weren't expecting Julie to come back. And I think someone tipped off because when Julie went up, she had a hotel staff member come with her, and they just found the paper from the bag in the room. Bag was gone, but the room wasn't clean.
Wow.
So
That's weird.
it was almost like they knew there was a gift in there.
Yeah.
Somebody tipped off. Anyway, it took like an hour, but we got it back. It was everyone kind of knowing that something happened, which is Julie had to like find out what was in the gift bag. So it was like a coffee cup and a gift card. And it mostly is just kind of like,
Really?
you could have given like a little time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have given like a day.
Right. Right.
But I have a feeling this happens. But it was all how like the management that helped Julie was lovely. But I think the overall experience was a little like
Questionable.
put you off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was kind of like, and also of all the people, we're tourism people.
Yeah.
We work with hotels. So if anything, we're biggest advocate. And when this stuff happens, you're kind of like,
Right.
I know what's happening and I'm not going to throw a fit, but like, come on.
Come on. Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, that was our Citizen M experience. So sorry, Citizen M.
We got it done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go read at Sprouts next. That's
All
what
right,
I'm
good.
off to
I'm going to
do.
go to the Hill Country Economic Summit. Have a
Say
great
hello
rest
to
of
all
your
my
day.
friends.
I will say hello to Kelly Hagemeyer.
Yeah. Austin Dixon's there.
Austin Dixon's there. The whole crew's there.
All right.
Amy Goodyear's there. George Eichner's there.
Okay.
The guy with the hat and the mustache, McIlvain. He's
McIlvain.
there. McIlvain's there. All right. See you guys. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great rest of your.
You too.
Your,
Have
your
a safe.
day.
Have a safe trip. Have a safe trip, and happy birthday to your grandmother.
Yeah, 103 years
Hell
old tomorrow.
yeah.
See you guys. Bye.